All right, I got 5 books in here. Just came back from CGC. The significance of these books is that they were the first Silver Age books that I cleaned, pressed, and submitted to CGC. And also, they are the first mid-grade books, true mid-grade books that I worked on, you know, something from the 3.5 range up to 7.0 or whatever. These are not the normal high-grade books that I usually deal with. So I'm interested to see how is my grading on the mid-grade books. And as you know, I'm conservative. Does that hold true for both high grade as we've already seen so far, or is it also going to be true for the mid-grade books in here? Now, these books were a ton of fun to work on. I enjoyed every second just because it's like you're working with a piece of history. So I was very careful, took my time. These were not, you know, high-grade books, obviously, so they were very delicate in a lot of ways. So I took my time. I kind of was conservative with what I did to them. I didn't want to cause any more damage than was already to them. I just wanted to clean them up a little bit, send them to CGC, and just be happy with the grades that I get. Oh, one more thing. I also did videos of me grading the raw books before I sent them to CGC. So I'll put the links in the description for each book, and you can check out that video if you want to watch the grading process as well when I'm actually looking at and handling the raw books. So let's not delay anymore. Let's get this box open and see what we got. So here we go. Cool stuff, right? So I'm going to go ahead and get these out, get them sorted. So let me do that real quick, and we'll continue on. Okay, the first book is Amazing Spider-Man number 48. First appearance of the new Vulture. So yeah, on this one, I thought it was a 5.5 before I sent it off. I did what cleaning and pressing I could. I paid, let me see, $130 for this on eBay. Got a pretty good price, I thought, for the condition I thought it was in at the time. And these hold their value. I mean, I don't anticipate these books, these Silver Age books, ever. If you want a safe investment, I'm pretty sure it doesn't get much safer than Silver Age Amazing Spider-Man, right? So I was hoping to get this up to a 6.0 or a 6.5. But once again, I'm pretty clueless on mid-grade books just because I haven't dealt with them very often. So this is going to be a learning process for me, and hopefully you learn something as we go as well. Okay, so let's see what grade we got on our first book, Amazing Spider-Man 48. Holy cow. Yeah. Woo. Off-white to white pages, but that's fine. It's a Silver Age book, but to get 7.5 on this book, and once again, I'll put the numbers below on what I paid for it, you know, what the fair market value approximately is now, and what kind of profit we had for, you know, this book and the rest of the books in the submission, and keep a running total as well. I tend to do that. So I'm very happy to get 7.5 on this book when I was hoping for as high as a 6.5. So maybe my conservative grading is transferring over to mid-grade books as well. So yeah, 7.5 on Amazing Spider-Man 48. Great way to start. And yeah, I didn't do a whole lot to these books except mainly just clean and press. I mean, they were soiled up pretty good, but gave them a good little press and did not overwork these books. I did not want to damage these beautiful Silver Age books. So I was very cautious on what I did when they're delicate like this. So we got Amazing Spider-Man 45. Make sure that label's not coming off. And, you know, who doesn't love this yellow cover? Now, you have to especially be careful on these yellow covers. It's very, very easy to rub yellow off, and I knew that before I worked on this book, so I didn't do any kind of rubbing. Even with a makeup pad, I did not touch this book. But yeah, this is the third appearance of the Lizard, as it denotes it right here. And just classic cover. I actually, if you check out my Instagram account, @Improved Collecting, I believe I featured this book. I think I did a little bit of whitening on the cover on this book. So if you're curious on that, just check out my Instagram. And please follow me there as well. If I'm doing like day-to-day stuff, I'll publish some of that stuff there. Stuff that doesn't always end up on YouTube. So yeah, without further ado, let's see what we got on Amazing Spider-Man number 45. Oh, let's don't forget, I expected this book to be, I paid $145 for it. It was a higher mid-grade copy. And it started at 6.5, I thought. And I thought I was able to get it to a 7.0. to a 7.5. So let's see what we get. Wow, 8.0. Any 8.0 on a Silver Age book or better is just tremendous. I mean, it's just, they're so rare. I mean, they really are. And I mean, there might be a lot of copies out there, but 8.0 plus is pretty dang rare. And we got the white pages on it as well, which is extremely thrilling for me. So it was just a little bit higher than I thought it would be. But once again, not complaining. So yeah, this is one absolute gorgeous book, and I'll probably end up keeping this one for the personal collection. I do have other copies of this. But 8.0 or higher, there's a few Amazing Spider-Man. I don't need to get the whole run from beginning to end or whatever, but there's a few covers that just kind of catch my eye, and that's one of them. So I'll probably hang on to this 8.0. It's hard to do better than that, right? So once again, we're exceeding expectations, which by all means, let's bring it on. Let's do that every submission so we can have some fun today. So Amazing Spider-Man number 42. This one is the face reveal of Mary Jane. I thought this was a 3.5 when I got it. I paid $100 for it, 102 actually, I think. But I thought I was able to get it to a 4.0 up to a 4.5. It has a giant color break here, a bunch here, and it's just very, very rough around the edges. Still presents fairly well. It's got some scuffing, color loss, that type of thing. But let's see what we got. Yeah, it doesn't surprise me. This one is one of those that I just don't know. And I'll have to look at the notes on it to see why it got 2.5 when I was expecting 4 to 4.5. I don't know whether maybe a staple pop that I didn't notice or something like that, but I'll put the grader's notes on the screen if there is any. But it's a beautifully, this might be the best looking 2.5 you'll ever see. There's nothing missing. It's fully intact. There's no spine splitting that I can see. It just has, mainly, this is the one big defect right here. But yeah, once again, I'll put the notes on. Look at that spine. You'll see spines like that on 5.5, 5.0s. And so, yeah, but definitely based on the first two grades, not complaining. I will take a 2.5 white pages, which is kind of cool on a 2.5 book. So somebody's going to love this book. I'm probably going to sell this one. I think I have a higher grade copy at CGC right now that I also did a grading video on that I expect to be in 7.0 to 8.0 range, somewhere like that. So I'll probably just keep that one in the collection and sell this one. So check out my shortboxed account. It'll probably show up in the next few days. Link in the description. And the next one is arguably, well, actually not arguably, this probably is my favorite Silver Age Amazing Spider-Man cover. Some people don't like the pose of Spider-Man here, but I always just liked it. It looks very threatening. Like, I don't, some people think that's not anatomically correct, but actually if you think about somebody bowed up over top of somebody, dominating them, that's actually pretty dang good, I think. And yeah, it's just, this is one of those books you just have to see in person with the flames and everything. If you haven't seen this book in person or held this book, put it on the bucket list because this is one of those great covers. Now, this is Origin of the Green Goblin, makes this a valuable book. But yeah, this one was a lower grade copy. This is an interesting story on this one. I don't want to ramble on too much in this video, but not that I don't do that, right? But yeah, this one actually was listed as a t-shirt. A t-shirt for being auctioned off. It was like a 10 with this picture on it, and they just threw the comic in as a side note. I don't think anybody saw it because I got it for like $75 for the whole thing, and the t-shirt's worth like 25 or 30. So basically, I got Amazing Spider-Man 40 lower mid-grade copy for like 50 bucks. I was amazed. That's pretty unheard of. And I just think people missed it because they saw a t-shirt or whatever. So yeah, very, very cool and very happy to pick up this book at the price that I did. Now, this one I thought was a 3.5 again when I got it, but I thought I was only able to get it capped to maybe a 3.5 or 4.0. 4.0 would be the absolute highest you'll ever see this book, I was thinking. And I got my 4.0, so that is tremendous. Very, very happy to pick up a $50 nicely presenting copy of Amazing Spider-Man 40. Fully intact, no splits, most of the wears around the edge. And this book looks great. This is a really good looking 4.0. So the last book. So yeah, I picked this one up for $100. And I thought it had good potential. I don't think I overpaid, but I did get it for a little bit more than I really wanted to because I just thought it had potential. I thought it was about a 5.0, and you can watch that grading video and see this, where I grade it. And I thought it could get up to a 6.0 or 6.5. And it has this white here, and I actually did a little bit of whitening on this. Nothing extreme though. It has a little bit of color break here, and quite a few color breaks along the side that kind of just break in, and they're kind of, I don't want to say obvious because you still have to kind of angle to see them. But if you just stand here, it looks clean. The only thing you really see is this one tick. But if you get up close, you can definitely see it's just rife with old color breaks and into the white of this cover. There's some old color breaks here. There's some scratches. There's scratches here, but this book originally had, a lot of these books that I see have scratches. The 8.0 that I got had the same scratches. So I think this is like a manufacturing thing. So that might not count against us. And it's not really that noticeable anyway. So yeah, once again, this beautiful copy of Amazing Spider-Man 62. Started at 5.0. We're hoping for 6.0, 6.5 at the most. But I just don't know how they'll treat these scratches here and these scratches here. So, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if it's 5.5 or 5.0 or something like that as well. Anything 5.0 or higher, I am perfectly happy on this book. So let's see what we got. 5.5. Okay. Just a little bit below what I was hoping for. But overall in this submission, I mean, when you look across all the books, I got top end of what I wanted here. This one was below what I expected, but once again, we're going to learn from this. I'm going to look at graders' notes. We're going to see why it's a 2.5, you know, and, but yeah, these two books kind of just make up for everything. If I got two that are slightly lower than expected, which aren't really that much lower, I mean, half grade, these make up for it. A 7.5 and an 8.0 when I was expecting quite a bit less than this. This submission was a big success for me. So if you want, remember, go ahead and check out the videos, the individual videos of me grading these raw comics, and you'll get to see the whole process of how I calibrated what I thought the grades would be. I was quite a bit off. I don't think I nailed the grade on any of these except maybe number 40, but that's a good learning experience. Let's see what happens here, and I've got a few more Silver Age books going off to CGC, and I've already got a few more there, so we'll get more feedback here shortly, and we'll see what's going on. So once again, thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.